Hello and welcome back to 5 Builders 1 City. And I'm here today to look into some problems that we have into the city, expand things a little bit, and get things working. So what we are doing today, we are looking at one of the main issues that we have here, which is the high resource costs. A lot of the industry is complaining about that. I know that Zardus was working on this, and this is in a much better state now, but as you can see, it's still popping up and still broken all around the city, and a death wave happening over there as well. But this is one of the main things that we are resolving today. I'm also looking into other things like education, unemployment, and the amount of citizens that we have. We're currently at 131, and what I want to do is, if we look at this, we don't have many jobs for uneducated, so I want to try to not double that, that'll be very bold, but at least add 1,000 more jobs in there and provide more people to work on the other tiers of education. But to do that, we need to work with our education system as well, because this is, as you can see, elementary school is lacking quite a lot, university is lacking, and I'm pretty sure that as soon as we start building this will get even worse. So it is what it is. We'll take a look into that. We will look into getting people more educated. So this is how we get them now. And also, it might seem counterintuitive, but I want to increase unemployment, because that will bring more people that will go into the education system and start filling those high tier jobs that we have available, and we have too many at the moment. Something that I'll look into is also providing some more materials in here. I want to look especially into the crude oil, because this is the one that we need the most and is one of the most expensive materials as well. So in fixing that, I hope to fix this issue with the costs of the resource in here, and then we need time to balance, but it will work out, I promise you. So without any further ado, let's jump into this build and I'll walk you through what I'm doing. I started by finding a spot here in the North American side where we had plenty of oil, and then I start by going around the whole area so I knew where exactly all the oil deposits were. And then I went through the river there on the crossings, because they were all like sinking to do that crossing, and I want this to be on a level, so I went there and did it manually. Then I thought we had this large road coming through this area already, so why not bring that up there and then making this connect and be the road that connects our train station that we will do later on. But before we get to that, then I start doing some roads here too that will help us create a more sense of like planned area for the oil extraction. So I went there, started adding some buildings as well for the industry, and I usually just do a tiny bit there just to understand what I need to do, and then I'll go back and mark all of those terrains properly, because I find that it's easy to do all in one go, and it's also more satisfying to do so. So I think that'll be good as well. We also unlocked the vehicle factory as well, and we'll take a look at that as soon as we finish going through all this zoning for the specialized industry here in the oil area. I try to keep as close as possible to the river, but at the same time not going into the river, because I think that's a bug in the game, that you can actually put this zoning in the river, and that doesn't really look good. And like the vehicles that work in these buildings, they actually go in the water, and yeah, that doesn't look good when you're watching your city function. But there we go, we have our factory going in there, and I'll just fix the slope in here And then we are next to the next thing, which should be our train station right here. So we connect all this road system as well, creating several options. But here I just want to show you that sometimes it's quite tricky to get things that you want, especially when working on a slope. So I'm trying to work with the slope in there. I want to bring this road on a level and then bring that back in, because what I want to do is that road to go underneath the train line, because we are higher up in there, and I think that will work for us to make sure we have a lot of connections and not like having a level crossing in there. That'll create another challenge, which is where to bring that line to the ground. And that's what we'll do now. I'm looking at this slope there that we need to have, and I was like, that is a bit too much. So I have to slowly going down. So I'm aiming, at the beginning it was, I think 1.2 slope there, but I'm aiming for between 2 and 3. And that's what we're doing. I did that big connection, and then I started looking at the angles and how everything was working. And then I realized this wasn't good enough, because the slope there would be insane. So I started doing bits by bits and trying to follow the terrain line as well. But this is me realizing right now that the slope there might be too much right there. And I was like, let's change plans here. Let's follow the terrain, do a little bit of a longer route in there, but one that makes sense and that won't kill all the trains you go, especially the ones going up and the brakes when they're going down. So that would be something that's insane. So we did that, and I think that looked a lot better. That works a lot better in my opinion. And then I found another place to actually connect it, which was closer and was more on a level there. And we now have our train lines connected for our cargo train. I'll give an overview later on everything, how that everything is connected and where this is going. But back here to that oil industry, and we are also doing a generic industry area in here to support all the jobs and provide more, especially uneducated positions, because we are increasing the population and I believe we will need that. So doing the basic services for the industry, we don't need like medical or schools in here. So I'm doing post office, police, and fire station. And there we go. Zoning is in and they will grow. You see lots of time me looking at the statistics and saying what do we need there. I'm just keeping track of everything so I can do it as good as possible and making sure that everything is going in the direction that I was thinking. So I'll give again another overview when we are done. But now we are back at, this is just next to the area that I've built last time, and on the right there you have the bits and property area, and I'm creating the zoning layout, but I'll have to change it very soon, because you'll notice what I'll try to put in here and you see that yep, I had to make some changes. But lots of pathways, always making things as walkable as possible, providing as many options as well. And this little area here, I'm giving just a connection without like crossing or disturbing that highway. This will be the passenger line for the trains. I think that'll be very helpful in this region and will connect the rest of the area that we have. We had to do a kind of a detour in there for the line to bring it in here, but I think it is what it is, and that makes sense, and that also decoupled the line from the cargo, which is good for our passengers traffic as well. With that in place, it's time for the university, and this is huge. I'm going for the technical university. I've unlocked that so we could use it, and this building I think was the right place for it. I'm quite happy where it is, and this will help this area. You see that at the end we will have this all filled out as well, and the university will be at capacity. We are just adding more and more education on this episode, and that's very good. I'm really happy that we are doing that because we have a lot of unemployment, as I said before, and this is trying to bring all that balance. But then we need power, and we went with a nuclear power plant there. And again, I'll give you an overview of how that looks in a second. I'm finishing zoning in all this area, and then with that, there is a lot of traffic because everyone is moving in as it is, but I will do some detailing and we will be back into the build soon, so I can give you a walkthrough on public transportation, all the buildings and all that sort of stuff. And we are back, and look at this view. It looks really good. I've decided to go with a little bit more high density on this side to finish things up, because I thought it would be a nice contrast between obviously this beach properties area in here and what we have in there. And usually highways are kind of, they segregate some areas, right? Especially when going through cities. And I thought that I would demonstrate this very clearly in here by doing something like that. And I think that worked. It shows a bit of a contrast in here and how these all actually look very different. And I like it. I really like it. So what have we done in here? I'll start with that side over there because this is potentially the one that resolves a lot of the issues that we had in here. So starting with the oil industry in there, I also heard something, but I might be wrong. But yeah, we got this in here, and we are now producing more oil than we actually need. So the idea was to make it cheaper for us to use this oil or use some raw materials in the city for our industry, and then reducing price for the commercial buildings as well. And then if you look around, although we have plenty of icons everywhere and a couple of abandoned buildings there, we don't have any other issues with that anymore. So this is now resolved. So I am very happy about that. And well, this was what we needed in here. So this also unlocked the vehicle factory for us that I put in here, because this also gives more efficiency for the industry and more oil deposits, which will be helpful for this area. And not that just that, but I only want to do this just because it looks a little bit better. But we've also added a train station in here, or cargo station, I should say. Yes, we do have a bit of traffic, but always getting in, and especially into this station, they go very slowly. I don't know why they do this, but all trucks, they actually stop before turning. And although these ones, they are actually still moving, but they go very slow, and they go all around to get in here, and they get like in a big queue, and these always get a little bit behind. Hence why I left this far away from everything. Now for the tracks in here, what I've done, this was a little bit higher from the other area, so I thought it'd be nice to keep this elevated so we could get roads underneath here to expand this area when we need things. And this, you barely see it, but this is a downward elevation, slope, I should say, going, I think it's minus 2.6 to minus 2.9 or something like that. And this goes down. As you can see again here, I've used this in a way to keep this interchange all working in there. And I've also actually created this new road connection that goes into the mountain, and there is a connection to the outside world over there. I thought it'd be a nice extension for this. And then this goes in the on the ground in here and elevated again, so it goes down. Now, I had done a straight line here to connect to the train line over, I think was around this area, and this was looking awful and was like a big slope there that wouldn't make sense. So what I've done, I went with a more gentle path and still keeping that slope in, went through here, went around underground there, keep going downward and going through here all the way where we could go on the ground and then whoops, jumpy, and then connect over here. Also added another connection here for a passenger train station over there. So all in all, this is all been working very nicely. The only thing that I was thinking about was if I would do kind of a curve or just connecting there. If anyone wants to change this after me, feel free to change it. It's just a way to get everything where it should, and I think that's doing the job there. But for the cargo train, so I think that makes sense if we show you the actual lines in here. So we have this, the black line, right? I will try to remove the other one. This black line will come in through here. Then I will keep the mouse on top here because then it highlights and it's easy to see. You see that it comes from here, start going this way, in here it will cross. Unfortunately, this is crossing through the main station in their central station, but I think that makes sense to go that way. And then this actually, I don't know why this is going in here. I'll take a look why this is going in here as a stop. I think it shouldn't, but I'll double check. And then it will go all the way through the other cargo station, which is here. Let me just take a look at the stops there because that doesn't seem right. Okay, I think that might be a bug because now it's not showing anymore. Maybe it was a train in maintenance, now it's showing again. That's really, really odd, but I think this is just because the trains are coming here for maintenance and that's showing. There is no waypoint or anything there. But with this, what I'm doing here, so we have this train station in there, this one in here, and this has an outside connection as well towards this, the bottom side here. We are moving cargo more efficiently around town and it's cheaper as well for them to do so. So that is going really, really well. Now, something else that I've done was working with education. Now we have a lot more capacity for elementary school, for high school and university as well, because we were barely scratching the surface for university. It was, except for elementary school, it was all in the green when I've done it, but with a lot of more people moving in, we are 165,000 people in the city. This has gone down slightly, but I think this is working quite well. So what I've done the technical university right here. As you can see, it's full, have all the upgrades. We have another elementary school just there. And we do have, I put another elementary school temporarily in here. I don't know what this area will be still. I'm not building that, but this can be moved away from there if that's needed. We'll definitely need more on this side over here. I didn't want to put one in the middle there, but I've added another one over here. There is nothing around this suburb and one extra at the top over here. And that was all that we had to do to help this out. So really good, that is improved. That is also has changed quite a lot how things do look and how they are actually working. So if you look at the education here, as you can see, this is where I start building and we start getting the citizens more educated, so poorly educated start going up. And when they get educated, the educated citizens starts to getting educated as well. Uneducated should go down within time. It's just that we have a lot of new people moving in as well, so it kind of evens out, but this will start changing as the population balance itself again. Well-educated also going up, and highly educated, this is a combination of giving them more options to go from the elementary school level all the way to university. So this helps a lot as well. One of the things that needs to be done and is to bring more people into the city, because we had a lot of open jobs and there's no way around that. We need to bring more people into the city, and this will create a little bit of unemployment, but unfortunately this will create unemployment for the poorly educated people, but we are providing more options for them to get themselves educated, and that will start moving them into other tiers of education, and then unemployment will start going down again. If we look at the open positions in here, you can see that all the positions for uneducated are filled, but everything else is lacking workers. So highly educated, well-educated, educated, and poorly educated is just under now, but this is an effect of them starting to get educated in here. So it's just all a balancing act, and there is a lot of work that needs to be done in that, but it is what it is, and I think we are getting some in the right direction in there. And on this area from Flyvox, I did expand this slightly. I've added a few more rows in here, row house, I should say, because of the uneducated level that we are wanting, and for the proximity for the industry over there, and I think that helped quite a lot. So Flyvox, thank you for that little area. I hope you don't mind me adding a little bit extra in there, but that's working quite a lot. We also need a lot of more power, so nuclear power plants. I thought about the bigger coal power plants, but I was, you know what? This would be really cool in here. We have some coal power over there, and the wind is blowing to the right side here, towards the bottom, and there is no effect at all for the industry or the pollution, and this is the perfect spot for this. So I was like, yes, feels like a little bit like Springfield, you know, you have like the power plants at the towards the up the hill, and then the city at the bottom there. So that is quite cool. And when I say Springfield, it's from St. Louis, obviously. And more industry in this area to support everything that's happening here. We do have the cargo train, so I thought it would be a good idea, and also giving more jobs for the uneducated with that. Lots of room for expansion in here. I didn't want to go crazy because I did work in two different areas. So this one and this high density one in here, and not just the contrast, we did need the high density, we need more people. So this is everything that we're doing. Some detailing, I didn't go crazy as last time as I've done in here, but I did detail over here. And this is actually, if you look closely, you find places where I had a little bit more detailing than others, and oh, now would be a nightmare for me to find, but I did add another park in there. There was some lines and plants all around, like this area and around the university, things like that. Just little small details here and there to make all of this look a little bit more part of the place, because this area is quite a mix of green and I do like it. At the moment we do have a little bit of traffic, but it's already, where it seems to be already going down. And the reason is because some of the buildings were abandoned, I demolished them, and there were people moving in. This usually happens in here, and we now have 3 entries into this area, and they do prefer, there were Yeah, look at this. Now this is moving. So we have these and the slip lane in here. We have these that they can go in here as well. And we have these that they can go through here and on this side over here. So plenty of options. When we have a lot of people moving in, traffic builds up, but this is all working for us. In terms of public transportation in this area, we've expanded the buses in here, and there is still a lot of taxis, but let me show you the bus line. So this bus goes all the way through here. I avoided this area because, as you can see, I don't know why taxis love this, and this gets like this. It's just a nightmare for getting all these taxis in here. And we do have this train line in here now. It's passenger line, and what I've done, this line would stop in here, so I've expanded this to stop there and then go outside of the city in the hopes that it would diminish the number of taxis we get in here. I failed. As you can see, all the taxis are still coming, and this is going crazy. I think my suggestion for someone that comes next might be an airport might help with this. So it's, it's something that we could work on and maybe help this out. But yeah, I think this is my second round here. This is my contribution. A lot of work to get the city running and fixing some things. Zardus provided the cargo station over there, which helped a lot, but we definitely need another one on this side for the North American, and also a connection between both of them. And he suggests doing that. That worked exceptionally well, but I also saw that we need to create some materials ourselves, and these actually helped us getting there. And yeah, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode of 5 Builders, 1 City. And then I am so excited and so happy for being part of this. So a big thank you for everyone, especially for Zardus, for inviting me, and really happy with the work from everyone in here. I now want to see, it's funny because this is usually how cities end up working as well. They develop quite a lot on one side, and then they start developing on the other side of the highway, and I really want to see how this side now develops as well. So it's looking pretty good. This mix between the North American and the European sides here is looking fantastic in my opinion. But let me know in the comments what you think about this, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye bye.